This is the Checka Pro Radio Show, sponsored by CheckaPro.com. What are the latest services, products, and techniques? The pros check in here. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Checka Pro Joe.
And that is me. Before I'll have any home service provider in my studio, I check them out. Check insurance, licenses, and references on all of our pre-qualified home service providers at CheckaPro.com. In the studio today, Tom the Attic Fanatic from Austin Solar Attic Fans. He's been here before, and he'll probably be here again in the future. It is that time of the year. It's hot here in Austin, Texas. And the hottest place in the house is not on the first floor. Now, going up, it gets a little hotter on the second floor, if you have a second floor. The hottest place is?
The attic, the oven.
Why is that?
Because a lot of times it's not vented properly. So the heat is just building and building and building in the attic. So it just gets hotter throughout the day. So then once it gets, say, over 120 degrees, now the insulation can't hold that heat back anymore, and the heat's going to radiate into the house. Also, the ductwork that's up there is being inundated with heat. So lowering the attic temperature makes the house more comfortable and more efficient. So I always say let's keep the ambient temperature of the inside temperature of the attic within 10 to 15 degrees of the ambient temperature. So if it's a hot day, say it's 100 degrees out, middle of July, we shouldn't see attic temperatures over about 115. Typically, we see without the solar ventilation, we're looking at attic temperatures 140 to 170 degrees. That is just way too hot. There's no way the air conditioner can overcome that much heat. It's a real problem. So when you lower the attic temperature, it really makes the house more efficient and more comfortable, thereby reducing your energy costs.
Thank you for bringing the deals to the show. The first deal is a free attic analysis, ordinarily $195 for you guys, which is fair because you have to drive out, which takes time, go up into the attic, which takes time, do an analysis, which takes time.
Yeah, it's usually
and then go back to the office. So it's actually a great deal.
It's a good deal because, I mean, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours to drive there.
Sure.
Speak with the customer. A lot of times we're there for an hour just talking about their ventilation, and then maybe we give them some other pointers on other things that we're looking at. So that's why it is a great value.
You're waiving that cost of $195. There's still 3 free attic analyses left. There's no obligation, by the way. Call now, 512-525-8438. No obligation. Call now, 512-525-8438. Tom or Pete will come out and visit you. No cost to you. If you need a solar attic fan, it'll be recommended to you, but ask for the $200 Checka Pro Radio Show discount. It's ordinarily $1,199, only $999 today, under $1,000. But wait, there's more, right? Uncle Sam is kicking in a 26% federal energy tax credit. It's about $260 there, just shy of that, for a total out-of-pocket cost of only $739.26. Let's say it's $740. Now, I will say, I took advantage of the federal energy tax credit when Tom the Attic Fanatic put the fan in my attic a few years ago, but I got 4% more because it used to be 30%. Not to confuse our listeners, it's now 26%. I say that because it can be a moving target. You want to get it now.
Yes, so for 2021, it's 26%. Actually, we kind of lucked out because it was going to drop to 22%. So they were going to kind of phase out the tax credit, and now they've redone it for 2021. It's 26% of the cost. So it's almost just the same as it was. But it's really a great value in that 26%. I mean, it adds up, especially if you needed 2 fans. Say you had a big one-style ranch house, you got 4,000 square feet, and you're like, I think we need 2 fans. Well, you can get the tax credit on both of the fans. It's not like there's not a limit to saying, well, if you get 2 fans, you're only going to get the tax credit on 1 fan. You get it on both. So it's really a nice tax credit. It really makes a big difference in the cost, and it helps get the payment or the out-of-pocket cost down to maybe just a year or so. 12 months, 18 months, the whole fan with your tax credit and the energy savings that's paid for your first initial investment. And then you just keep saving money every day, every year, make the house more comfortable, and just keep saving and saving and saving. So it's awesome.
Just got word only 2 left now. We start off with 7, lucky 7 today. Only 2 of these free attic analysis available to my listeners today. 512-525-8438. Call now, only 2 left. There is no obligation. 512-525-8438. And if you need a solar attic fan, well, then Tom or Pete will be able to recommend that and educate you on it. Installation is included.
Yeah, installation is included. And people to know that this is a professional grade product. This is not some cheap solar fan or just a gimmicky item. This is it's 30 watts, moves 1550 CFM. It's all steel, metal construction. It's got an adjustable panel, thermostat, humidity sensor, lifetime warranty, brushless motor. It's rated at about 100,000 hours, so it's about 40 to 50 years of life expectancy out of the motor. I've been doing these for 7 or 8 years. I've never had a motor go bad. I mean, we're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of these because it's brushless. It just keeps running and running. It's almost like a ceiling fan. Some people have a ceiling fan. That's a brushless motor, and they're like, that fan's been running up there for 20 years, and I never shut it off. How can it run so much? Well, because it's really just spins and spins. It doesn't wear out. And then the bearings and stuff are sealed, so there's nothing the moisture can get in. They're not going to wear out. So it just runs and runs and runs. Super quiet. I hate to get into too many specs on the fan, but just knowing that it really does do the job, and it's really a nice professional grade product.
Lifetime warranty.
Yes, lifetime warranty. So if you ever have a thermostat goes bad or anything like that, it's a quick connect. It's all easy to fix. Either we can come out and fix it, or we'll send you the part. It's super easy, and we'll get you taken care of because we want to keep that fan running. A lot of people say, well, how do I know if the fan quits running? Because your attic's going to be an oven again, and you'll know you have a problem. You're going to think you have an air conditioning problem or something, and then maybe it was the fan or there was some issue. Normally, they never quit running. I mean, they're designed to run for a lifetime.
512-525-8438. Call now. 512-525-8438. There's one of these offers left. Sometimes in the morning here in Austin, the humidity's higher than later in the day. The heat from the sun burns the humidity off.
Right.
What's nice, though, is there's a humidistat in the fan, which means in the morning, the sun comes up, the fan says, good morning. It may not even be hot enough in that attic yet for it to turn on, but it might be humid enough. Explain that.
Right. So it's going to read so it's basically, I always say, picture the attic fan like there's actually somebody standing in the attic reading. Okay, they got a meter. They're reading the temperature and they're reading the humidity. If it's going to benefit the house for the fan to come on, then they flip the switch, boom, fan comes on. If it's not going to benefit the house for the fan to come on, it stays off. That's why we call it smart technology. So the fan is not just always running. When some ventilation people, they'll say, well, I used to put those power fans in, and we'd set them on like 110 degrees. That's because the motors only lasted 5,000 hours. Ours lasts about 100,000, so 20 times the life expectancy on the motor, and it doesn't cost anything to run the solar attic fan. So we, just like we talked about before, we want those air exchanges per hour. We're trying to keep the temperature in check. We're not trying to let the temperatures get up to 110 or 120 degrees, and then the fan comes on and starts trying to overcome all this heat. We want it to run as soon as it reaches 85 degrees, the fan's going to come on and start cycling that air through the attic and keeping the attic temperatures down.
512-525-8438. Pete is manning the phones today because his partner, Tom the Attic Fanatic, is here in the studio. So Tom,
I can't do everything.
Tom can't do everything. Pete will be answering the phone. By the way, sometimes the phone lines get inundated during a radio program like this because the deal is so fantastic. Leave a message if Pete can't get to the phone. He'll call you back. Just remind him that you are within the first 7 callers. By the way, there's only one left, so call now, 512-525-8438. Like I said, if the phone lines are tied up and it goes to voicemail, leave a message for Pete. He will call you back. No obligation. Call now, 512-525-8438. If you've just tuned in, boy, have you missed a great radio program. But it's not over yet. But wait, there's more. There's more radio program. Get a free attic analysis. That means Tom or Pete will come out to your home, put their head up in your attic, take a look-see, and see what's going on. There will be a remedy to your hot attic. Now, if you don't have a hot attic in the summertime, you don't need to call. It's for the people out there who have a hot attic. Tom, what percentage of the people here in Austin do you think have an attic out of whack, which most are? Is that pretty high percent? 70, 80, 90%?
High. I'd say it's probably 85, 90%.
Yeah, so most of you.
Yeah, the only time, so if you're living a condominium and you're on the first floor and there's a tenant above you,
you're all insulated.
You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need a solar fan. But the guy on that top floor, I guarantee he's feeling that heat. So we do a lot of like townhome kind of situations or condominiums, that second floor. We even do a lot of apartment buildings where they're like all the tenants are complaining that they on that second floor that they can't.
Well, they're closer to the sun.
Yeah, they're right above that attic is right above them, and they're the guy on the first floor gets $100 electric bill, and the people on the second floor, same size apartment, and they're getting $250 electric bills. It's because the attic is so hot. If they complain enough, a lot of times the apartment companies will call us and say, "Can you put a fan over every one of these units?" And we'll come in and we'll put 20 or 30 of them in to lower all the temperatures in all of their buildings. But then all the tenants, everybody's excited and everybody's happy, and it really makes a big difference.
So the upstairs tenants are really taking the heat.
The heat, yes.
The heat hit. They're
Right.
taking one for the team.
I know, exactly. They're insulating the first
Well,
floor.
sure.
Yeah.
And you'll find that in your home too, everybody.
Yes.
That if you have a 2-story home, your first floor is easier to keep cool.
Exactly, because it doesn't have 150 degrees of heat above it,
Well,
like the second floor.
You've got
So
a
that's
big
why
insulator above you called the second floor.
Exactly. So that's why we lower that attic temperature, make the whole house comfortable.
We've got another segment left. We only have one of these deals left. 512-525-8438. Call now. 512-525-8438. No obligation. Limited time offer, a free attic analysis, and $200 off the solar attic fan. Tom the Attic Fanatic and me, Checker Pro Joe, will be right back right after this.